Today I'm going to be making a macaroni salad. You can use whatever pasta you want. I'm just using this because that's what was in my cupboard for today. I'm going to hard boil some eggs. You will need some green onions, some carrots, some celery, red and green pepper, onion, a can of tuna, mayonnaise, dill pickles, and for seasoning, a little bit of salt and paprika. So I put my eggs on to boil, and I like to add a little bit of vinegar to the water because if the shells crack while they're boiling, it does kind of help keep it sealed. So that's just something that I do. And I've got some salt in my water, and I'm going to bring this to a boil before I add my pasta. Once your water comes to a complete boil, you can go ahead and add your pasta. And the package for this pasta says it'll take 10 minutes, but I know I always like mine to be cooked a little bit longer. But I'll set it for 10 minutes and check it anyways, and then I'll figure out how much longer I need to boil it for to get the consistency that I like. While the pasta is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my vegetables. So I've already trimmed my carrots and everything's been washed. I'm going to run the carrots and the dill pickles through my food processor because it's just faster and easier for me to grate it that way. But if you don't have one, you can use a box grater. And then I'm going to chop up the rest of my vegetables. The eggs and the pasta have been boiling for 10 minutes so far. The pasta's not quite done, so I'm going to let it go for another 5 minutes. But for hard-boiled eggs, 10 minutes usually does the trick for me. Usually what I would do is actually soak them in an ice bath as soon as they've come out of the heat, which helps the egg inside the shell sort of retract from the shell and makes it easier to peel. But there was no ice in my tray, so they're just in cold water for right now, and I'm going to peel these in a few minutes, and I'm going to continue with prepping my vegetables. So my pasta's finished to the consistency that I like. So I'm straining it in my colander right now, and I've ran some cold water over it just to remove some of the starch and to cool it off a little bit. And I'm going to continue prepping my salad. I've grated up my pickles and my carrots in my food processor, and I chopped the rest of my vegetables so I could get them the size that I like. You can chop them really to whatever size you like. I like my onions to be really, really fine. That's me. And I like a small dice for my peppers, and I do like the shape of the celery, so I leave it in a little half moon shape. And I'm going to add this into the rest of the veggies. Okay, and then I'm going to add my tuna after I've strained the water off, and then I'm going to peel my eggs so I can add my eggs. And I decided to use 2 cans of tuna instead of just the one because I have so many vegetables here. Usually I would actually use 2 and all these vegetables and twice as much pasta, so there's going to be more veggies than pasta in this batch, but you can also add more pasta if you want if you're serving a large crowd. And I've peeled my eggs, and it doesn't really matter that they didn't peel perfectly because we're going to chop them up anyways. You can just chop them with a knife, or if you have an egg slicer, it makes the job a little bit easier. So I'm going to use my egg slicer. Just pop your egg in the middle. And that one's done. So I've got my eggs and my tuna in with the vegetables. I'm going to add some mayonnaise, and I'm going to start mixing this up. As per usual, I don't really measure, so I didn't measure the mayonnaise, but there's probably a good cup in here. And I'm going to add a good big pinch of salt. And I'm going to add some paprika as well. And I'm going to mix this up. So this is what it looks like so far. I'm going to go ahead and add the pasta and give it a stir. And I may add some more mayonnaise, I may not. We'll see how that goes. So this is what the finished product looks like. I didn't need to add any more mayonnaise, but I probably will tomorrow because I do find that overnight the pasta absorbs the liquid from the dressing and it gets a little bit dry. So I'll add some more mayonnaise tomorrow just to make it creamier. If you're making a large batch like this and you want to take it to a potluck or something, just put it in a nice clean bowl after it's been all mixed up, and you can sprinkle some extra paprika on top just to make it look pretty. Hope you enjoy.